Right, hi folks. Another day. I've just had a monster clear up in the workshop. It was completely cluttered. It had all the camper bits in it, which shouldn't have been in it. It should have been in the camper. So I've had a big clear up. Now I've demasked the car. I've got rid of all the rubbish that was round the sides of the workshop. So it's much clearer now, so I can get on. Next job, I'm going to fit the windscreen. I think I'll put it back in the car because the longer I leave it here, the more chance there is of it getting broken. So I've given it a good clean up with a single edge blade and a bit of thinners, and I've got 90% off it. So it's good enough now. I can get it in and then finish cleaning it afterwards. So I'll show you how to fit it. Right, I have a new rubber here for it. Now, on the cars from the 60s and 70s and 80s, when they were fitted with a rubber gasket, there's two types. There's the type where you fit the rubber to the glass, put a string in it and string it into the car. And there's the other type, like the Mini, for example, where you put the rubber around the body and then you hitch the glass with a plastic stick or a screwdriver into the rubber. Now, the way to tell the difference, on the inner lip of the rubber, this one has a nice soft flange. On the Mini, it's much thicker and much harder, so it doesn't want to bend. So this is a stringing one. Right, if you look, there's going to be a join somewhere in it where it's glued together, which is there. So you want that at the bottom, preferably in the centre of the windscreen. So these are always awkward when they've been in a packet for months because they don't want to come out. We'll find roughly the centre, which is about there. And we fit the rubber. It's been a few years since I've done this. I've got to start with the corners, I've remembered. Right, so come up to a corner, flip the rubber over the glass. That's it. And then go to the next corner, do the same, flip the rubber over the glass, go up to the next corner, get the twist out of it. I love being all twisted up and then new. Flip this over the corner, get it on there, and then come down to the last one, get all the twists out, and this is where you have to stretch it, and this is where it falls off the corners. So put it down as much as you can, because you're going to have to really stretch it to get it to go on this last corner. So stretch the rubber out and it comes off that one. That's what usually happens. Just get this one on a bit more so it doesn't want to come off quite so easily. So I've got that fully on that end now. So hopefully I should be able to stretch it, get it on this one without it coming off the other end. So these are quite a tight fit, these new rubbers. Right. Not quite as easy as I remember them being in the old days. I might get a plastic stick just to ease that on. But it's definitely tight. Right, what you need now is a bit of string, and it helps if it has a nozzle on it off a silicone tube or whatever. So put the nozzle on, you can pull the string through and then leave a bit hanging out. Now I'm going to start in the middle, so put the string into the edge of the rubber and then feed it around using the nozzle. So lift the rubber up, put that in, and then just run it round. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a few loops. So I'm going to leave a loop there. I'm going to leave another loop in the middle, like so. Then I'm going to keep coming round. Leave a loop on this side. And then come right back round to where I started. So, what I'm going to do now is just stick a little bit of tape on there to hold the loops out of the way while I put the screen on in the car. Just to stop them falling in the way. Lay the glass into the windscreen aperture. Like so. Get it centred, and it should just sit down into the aperture. Make sure you've got it centred, makes it a lot easier. Now I'm going to go inside the car and just holding the glass down against the thing, I'm going to pull the string so it pulls the rubber over the edge of the aperture. Now pull down towards the centre of the car and keep the string fairly close to the glass, and that will pull it nice and neatly without tearing the rubber, and you don't have to actually put too much effort in. So coming across now, to make sure it's centred, I'm going to do the other side. So come around here, do the same with the other one. Just pull the string towards the glass so that it pulls the rubber over the aperture. And always pull towards the glass. Now, as I could see, that wasn't fully centred, but that's just moved it over and centred it. So now I can just pull downwards, pull all the way across, just get all my lip over, and just give it a little tap as you go. Come back to this side. Carry on from the top. Just pull it down, keep it towards the glass. That's over. And pull this. Make sure your rubber's going over the aperture. If it looks like it's getting close to the edge, just go outside. Give it a little tap to make sure it's going over the aperture. And once it's in, use the flat of your hand just go round and slap it in. Windscreen in. Now, next bit is to fit the rubber strip. Now, what you need for this is a tool. I mean the chrome strip, not the rubber strip. And what you need is one of these and a bit of windscreen cleaner or some soapy water. Doesn't really matter which. So, Up here, I should have a new strip. Oh. So we'll get this out, see what we got. Okay, we have the new strip. Now these can get very brittle. If it's very, very cold, it's a good idea to put them in a bucket of hot water and let them soak for a while. But this one's okay. It's got a little bit of damage there where someone's cut it, but I'll get away with that. I'll start with the other end. So that's one end. Where's the other end? There's the other end. Now, unfortunately, you don't get a joining piece with these, but I think I've got one somewhere, so I can fit that later. Now, this is the tool to fit the plastic strip. This is actually for a Mini, and it's designed to be used that way up to fit a Mini trim. To use it on a Triumph, you actually turn it upside down and just put the point here into the rubber and then just push it round with the trim going through there. So give it a soak with a bit of soapy water or a bit of screen cleaner in the gap, and that'll help the tool slide round. So put the tool in, put the rubber in, put the chrome in, put the chrome into the rubber. It's fighting me because it's twisting. Hang on, okay. Get it twist out a bit. Should have put it in a bucket of water like I told you. Would have been a lot easier. Right, so put the tool in, spread the rubber, put the trim in, push it in 1/2 inch, and then just slide the tool along, feeding the trim in as you go. Now, unfortunately, because it's cold and it doesn't really want to go. Now I'm not fighting the twist anymore. It's going in really easy. So and that's how it should go in. If I'd warmed it up, it would have gone in like that straight away. Go. Got the wipers back, got the windscreen in, and ready to move on to the next bit. Actually looks quite tidy around the windscreen now. Almost looks like a proper car. So quite pleased with that. Right, hi folks, it's the next day. It's freezing. There's a right heavy frost on the car this morning, but I have a nice tidy workshop and I'm going to have another go at the inside of this bonnet. Everywhere's nice and clean and tidy, windscreen done, but I'm not happy with this bonnet. It's a bit rougher than I wanted it to be. So what I'm going to do, it's because I painted it wet on wet. So it's only really this panel across the centre I'm bothered about, because the rest is stone chipped. So I'm going to DA off this panel, then I'm going to bolt the frame back in, and then I'm going to respray the bottom, the underneath of the bonnet, make it a bit better. So first job is DA it all off. Okay, I've given it a good sand down, and as you can see, it was pretty rough by all the grey bits sticking through. So now I've put the frame in loosely. I'm going to bolt it back in, and then I'll clean it all down and give it one more coat of paint over the whole lot. When I bolt the frame down, there's two little anti-vibration bits of rubber that go underneath here. I'm going to leave them out, and then when it's all dried off, I'll just release the back bit and pop the little rubbers in afterwards. So now I need all my little brackets for the bonnet out of the powder coating cabinet. I've got all my brackets and I've got new nuts and bolts to go with them. If you live anywhere near Leicester, there's a company called GI Fasteners in Loughborough. Well worth investigating. He stocks all the AF nuts and bolts. This lot with bolts, washers and a pack of lock nuts to go with them cost me a £5. Absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, GI Fasteners if you live anywhere near Loughborough or Leicester. When you're putting the bonnet hoop back in, these holes here and here and these two up here are slotted. Now you get quite a bit of movement in the adjustment on these, and I'll see if I can show you. Yeah, there is quite a bit of movement. Now this makes a massive difference to how the bonnet fits. A lot of people spend ages messing about with the front brackets on the hoop and whatever, the adjustable ones. You've got to get this right where it's fitted, otherwise the bonnet won't fit properly. So when you're fitting it, try and fit it with the brackets in the middle, with the hole in the middle of the slot, to give yourself the best chance. Once you've got it on the car, you can just loosen these off, and these ones here, just have them a little bit loose and you'll find you can jiggle the bonnet about to get the best fit. So don't over tighten them, just nip them up while you fit the bonnet and then loosen them off, and you'll find you can move the bonnet about ½ an inch, which is quite a lot, and that will give you a lot of adjustment on how the bonnet fits to the doors and the bulkhead. With these brackets, because I've powder coated them, there's some powder coating in the threads, which is making it a bit awkward for some of the bolts to go in. Don't try and force the bolts in, because these are just pinched in and they will pull out. So if you haven't got a tap, which I haven't because I've lent them to somebody, just get a bolt and file a little slot in the end of it. Okay, so if you file a slot, if I can get it to focus, file a slot like that in the end of the bolt. Where is it? There it is. Okay, and that'll help it work like a tap, and it will clean the thread out as you go. That's all the bonnet fixings in. They're all in, so I've not done them up tight. I've just literally nipped them because I can back them off if I need to adjust the bonnet afterwards. So next job now is just clean it up and blow one more coat of paint over the centre of it. Right, so I'm all ready. I've had a bit of heat on to warm it up a bit in here. I've degreased it all. I've gone over it all with tack rag to get the dirt off it. So now I'm going to try out my new spray gun. I invested in a new gun and we'll see what it's like, what sort of finish it gives. Well, that looks a bit better, much better gloss on it. So yeah, reasonably pleased with that. That looks a lot better than the first attempt. So yay for the new gun. Right, a major achievement completed. The bonnet is back on. My neighbour came round and helped me fit it. He didn't really want to be on camera, but it's back on. And it opens and shuts fine. The springs are on, and I'm really pleased with the line on the bulkhead. So once I've got the catches on to hold it down, we'll see what it looks like. I've just started work on the door. I found a little bit I hadn't welded up the top here, which the factory normally braze. So I've welded that on. There's a little bit of primer I need to touch in. I'm not mixing it up for the gun. I'll mix a tiny little bit up and paint it on. And then I'm gonna rub down both the insides of the doors, paint the insides of the doors, and then I'm gonna hang the doors and just see what all my fit lines are like before I carry on any further. I'm happy with the bonnet. I've got a bit full of work to do around the bottom, we know, but I'm happy with the bonnet fit. I'll just say get the doors painted on the inside, then I'll hang them on and see how good all my panel shuts are. I don't want huge panel gaps. I want this to have a nice fit to it, so we'll see where it goes. Right, that's it for today in this video. Thank you for watching. I shall carry on getting the rest of the stuff done from tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, and if you could, give us a like or subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a lot. Bye.